which always really excites me to no end. And let's begin with Hine Matov Uma Naim.
Wonderful it is for us to be together. And after a long, long week, for some of us longer than others, it's time to get it started the right way.
That woke me up.
Hine matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov Repeat after us. How sweet and good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Nei matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Nei matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Hinei matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Sheverachim gam yachad. Sheverachim gam yachad.
All right, that was quite a beautiful way to start our Shabbat B'yachad, come together to celebrate our Friday. Let's continue with a beautiful reading on page 124 in your Siddur. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. And the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. I don't know about you, but on the way here, I noticed a beautiful, beautiful full moon. And that got me to really hold my breath for a couple of seconds, really no more than a couple of seconds, and say, thank you, God. This is such a beautiful night. And with that, I'd like to invite up to the Bima Carol Moore, who will lead us on page 121 with a short reading. And then we will light Shabbat candles together, page 121.
these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'misosav v'tzivanu al ner shel Shabbat.
Praise you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, for giving us an opportunity to Shabbat this evening. Let's join together in singing along with Mark.
Mark's down there.
Along with Mike
And Mark.
and Mark.
And Pat and everybody else. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to wish each other Shabbat Shalom. Loves are always welcome here at Delaware. Shalom.
If you're on Zoom, you're welcome to unmute yourself and say hi to each other. We'll do that in the sanctuary.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Hope you have a good week.
Good thinking.
Page 135. we sing Romamu, an old favorite. We haven't done it in a long time, so I hope everybody remembers it. I think I do, Rabbi. I think I do. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho.
Let's continue with Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala. As I mentioned last week, we've been introducing this version for the past few weeks. Let's continue on page 138 and 39.
Lekha
from here, let's turn to page 140. Mismor Shir Liyom HaShabbat. Continue from here with a short reading on page 261. And this evening we are going to do service number 2 in our Siddur. Holy One, give me a quiet heart and help me to hear the still, small voice that speaks within me, calls me to come close to you and to grow in your likeness. It teaches me to do my work faithfully, even when no one's eye is upon me. It counsels me to judge others kindly and to love them freely, for it persuades me to see divinity in everyone I meet. Help me, O God, to come to the end of each day feeling that I used its gifts wisely and faced its trials bravely.
Page 263.
יגדל ויקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
על דברך חירותי והמליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון וחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. ישמר אדם ברח לעולם ועלמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישבח ויפאר וירומן ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו להילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה Himru Amen.
You're able, we invite you to rise as we continue with the Barichu. Please turn to page 264. roll into dark. If you'd like, you can keep on standing.
Day turns to night, night turns to day, back to night again as we prepare for as we begin our Mariv service. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, kol choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
Please turn to page 266 and let's continue responsively before we sing Shema Yisrael. In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. Invite everyone to take a deep breath in. This evening we are experimenting with a version that is so old in our movement, the Shema Yisrael, as was written by Debbie Friedman. I welcome your feedback and your comments after the service. Please let us know what you think about this beautiful melody, what I consider a beautiful melody.
You may be seated. We continue on page 268.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך, וכשקם לאות ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
Page 269. Again, we continue responsively. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
On page 270, as we reach the sea, and we sing, who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you? Mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'eli b'Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'eli b'Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Ora tehilot oseh belen. Ora tehilot oseh belen. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Malchutcha rahu banecha, bokei hayam livnei Moshe uMiriam. Ze'elianu v'hamru, Ze'elianu v'hamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh belen. Nora tehilot oseh belen. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'nehemar ki fata Adonai et Yaakov ugalo, miyad hazak mimenu, miyad hazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Kahal Yisrael, Kahal Yisrael.
Oh, come on, I want to do it again. I guess we'll stay here all night long if we do so, but wow, I love this piece. Let's continue, please, with a reading on page 271. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence, we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch ata Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al ha'olam. Blessed are you, Adonai, who shelters us in peace.
On page 272, the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages of the covenant of all time. We sing the Shamru, and we all know how to do this one. Nice and loud, everyone. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Fade out. As we continue with Amidah, also known as the Tefillah, again this evening I wanted to pilot and to experiment with a new melody. Actually, it's been around for quite some time. Again, I'll be looking for your feedback. Let's rise as we begin with 273, Adonai Sifatai Tiftach. And then we will continue with the rest of the pages, 274 and 275. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach. Via Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, וזוכר חסייבות לאמהות, ומביא לבניהם, מן שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן העם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחייב הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרך מוריד הלשם, מחל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממיד ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחייב הכל.
Page 276. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Join me in reading the English. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Let's take a few moments of silent meditation or silent reading. When you're done with your own private conversation with God, I invite you to have a seat. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
Say shalom, shalom bimromav. Yase shalom. Say shalom, shalom bimromav. yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom.
Before we begin our Torah service, I just wanted to give you a little synopsis of what it is that's going on in this week's Torah portion, Parshat Vayishlach from Genesis, chapters 32 through 36. Jacob prepares to meet his estranged brother Esau. On his way, Jacob wrestles with yet another entity, in addition to the ones that we talked about last week, who changes Jacob's name from Yaakov to Yisrael, which means the one who struggles with God. We are Yaakov. We are Yisrael. Jacob and Esau meet and part peacefully, each going his own separate way. Dinah, Jacob's only daughter, is raped by Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Chivite, who was chief of the country. Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, take revenge by murdering all the males of Shechem, and Jacob's other sons join them in plundering the city. Beautiful story. Rachel, Jacob's beloved wife, dies giving birth to Benjamin and is buried in Ephrath, which is present-day Beit Lechem. Isaac, the patriarch, dies and is buried in Hebron. As you can tell, this is a saga, and it will continue through the book of Deuteronomy, but we are only in Genesis, so 4 more books to go. And with that, I'd like to call up to the Bima our ark openers and our Gabaim, as well as Torah carriers. Please come on up. No. You got drafted. Awesome.
Page 362. Ein kamocha ve'Elohim Adonai ve'en kemahasecha malchutcha malchut ka'olamim u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch l'olam va'ed Adonai oslamo yitein Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom av harachamim et yiva v'tzoncha et Zion tibnei chomot Yerushalayim tibnei chomot Yerushalayim כי בך לבד בטחנו,
Melech Ram v'nisa Adon Olamim. Top of 364. Ki mitzion tetze Torah. Ki mitzion tetze Torah. Udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah La'amo Yisrael B'Kdushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Mo, Gadlu Adonai iti. Unrom Shemo Yachdav Lecha Adonai Hagadula V'Hagavru V'Hatiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hahod Ki Chol B'Shamayim Uvaretz Ki Chol B'Shamayim Uvaretz Adonai hamamlacha v'aminaseh lechol rosh Ashlosha devarim Ashlosha devarim Ashlosha devarim Haolam amen Ashlosha devarim Ashlosha devarim haolam amen Al haTorah va'al ha'avodah va'al chilul chasadim Al haTorah va'al ha'avodah va'al chilul chasadim.
Please be seated. Before we begin with our Torah service, I'd like to actually call up to Debima a few important members of Wendy Drabinsky's family, because today we're doing just something a little additional, something that we added this morning. So Wendy, please come on up. Wendy today has made a decision to give herself a preferred name in Hebrew. And so I will name you this evening in the presence of your family members and our community. God of days and years, author of life, our times are in our hand. We thank you for the blessing of life and for all that enriches our lives. We gather today in special thankfulness to share in the happiness of Wendy Drabinsky, who is about to receive her new Hebrew name. God, we ask that you be with her always as the joy of her life. May she be blessed with health and happiness and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. So now, in the presence of loved ones, we give to you the following name: Yafa Miriam Batchendel Leah Vereuven. So I'd like to invite the rest of your family, because you guys are going to be up here doing the aliyot as well. So please come on up. Let's have Reina and Naomi, and of course, beloved husband Patrick, come in here. Let it become a name honored and presented for wisdom and good deeds. Yafa, which means beautiful. Miriam, we all know the beautiful history. May you walk the path of goodness, beauty, and truth. Do justly, love mercy, asi shalom, ve'ehevina chesed. Then will your life be filled with abundance of blessings. It is now my honor to bestow God's blessing upon you. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you always be blessed with internal and external peace, as we all sit together. Amen. Let's now continue with Seder Kriyat HaTorah. Mazal tov to you, sweetheart. And you guys just stay here. I'm just going to call you by your Hebrew names. For the first Aliyah, I'd like to call up beloved husband Patrick. Yamod Reuven Yosef ben Avraham v'Sarah. Aliyah Rishona.
Want to get on the page too.
Oh,
So we're in.
She hasn't worked out. Who's doing the first one? Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick.
Okay, where am I here?
Which one?
It's actually, we start, the portion that she's reading is 221. Vayishlach Kobatina.
Where is this then?
Vayishlach Kobatina. It's right.
Oh.
Hold on. Vayishlach, yeah.
No,
Kobatina.
thought it was higher. Vayishlach.
Vayishlach Yaakov Einav.
221.
33.
Yeah,
Wait.
page 221, verse 33.
Got it. Yeah, cool, yeah.
Okay, you got the first lead.
Baruch Adonai Hambarak. Baruch Adonai Handla. Baruch Adonai Hambarak Le'olam Ba'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bakar Bahanu Mikol Ha'amin V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayishlach Yaakov einav, vayar v'hine Esav ba, v'imo arba me'ot ish, vayachatz et ha'yadim, al Leah v'al Rachel, v'al shetei hashpachot, vayasem et hashpachot, v'et yaldeihen rishonah, Viet Leah, Viladeha, Acharonim, Viet Rachel, Viet Yosef, Acharonim, Vehu Avar Lifnehem, Vayishtachu, Artsa Sheva Pa'amim, Ad Gishto Ad Api.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah. Yemet v'hai olam natab b'tohenu Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen. For the second Aliyah, I'd like to invite Naomi and Reina. Yamdu. Yafa Miriam. I'm sorry. Nechama Leah bat Yafa Miriam ve'Reuven Yosef. Tamud Rina Pesha bat Yafa Miriam ve'Reuven Yosef. Aliyah Shniya.
Baruch Adonai Hambarak. Baruch Adonai Hambarak. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Sharon. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu. Notein HaTorah. God, I lost my spot.
I lost my spot. Where am I? Sorry.
Yeah, right there.
Wait, where?
Sorry.
Say it again. Vayretz Esav likrato vayichab kehu vayipol al tzavara vayishakeu vayivku vayisa einav vayard hanashim v'yet hayeladim vayomer mi'elelach vayomar hayeladim asher chanan Elohim et avdecha vatigash nahashvachot Heinav yaldehem v'tishtachavena v'tigash gam leah v'ladeha v'yishtachavu v'achar nigash Yosef v'rachel v'yishtachavu.
Elohim melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan v'zochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
That was beautiful. So are we doing Shabbat now?
That's usually what we do.
Mike.
I got the cover. No, you hang out here for a little while. Yeah, just a few minutes.
As we continue with our Torah service, it is the minhag, it is the custom to have Misha Berach at this time. Misha Berach is our healing list, and so we keep in our thoughts and prayers the following people: Annette Dearlam, Barbara Chansey, Fred Belkin, Gary Murphy, Glenn McCain, Gloria Jocelyn, Harriet Coleman, Jordan Rice, Lisa Denrich, Linwood Robinson, Marsha Robinson, Mike Gordon, Mindy Shipley, Natalie Litovsky, Philip Chansey. If you'd like to add a name to our healing list, please raise your hand and say that name as my eyes meet yours. Let's all join together in singing Misha Berach, this time the melody by Lisa Levine.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Avotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer,
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 and
bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision of tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Misha Berach Avotenu, Shaberach Avoteinu. Hear our prayer.
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 And
Bless us as well. And bless us as
ברוך אתה, אדוני, רופא החולים. Let's return the Torah back to the Ark, and I'd like to call up again the Ark openers and Magbia and Galila.
Zot HaTorah asher שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני מיד משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר. דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אליך ונשובה. Chadish Yameinu, Chadish Yameinu, Kekedem.
Let's all have a seat. Many people hold back on religion in their lives because they are uncomfortable with the concept of God. Many of us ask questions such as, does God exist? How could such bad things happen to good people? Why does even evil exist? These are all questions that people have addressed throughout history since humanity began. Many sophisticated discussions and answers are rooted in Jewish texts for us to encounter and wrestle with personally. In this week's Torah portion, Parashat Vayishlach, as I mentioned earlier, Jacob wrestles all night with a mysterious entity representing God. Because Jacob successfully survives this encounter, his name is changed to Yisrael. In other words, we are to struggle with God from the moment we are born. That is our fate. We struggle with God. The translation of Yisrael is Yisra or Yisar, which means to struggle, El, with God. The Torah is saying that to struggle with God is actually common. Most people require inquiry and study as adults to come to terms with their own and personal encounter. We as Jews are not asked to accept complete faith blindly, but rather we are encouraged intellectually to encounter God within ourselves. After studying and wrestling that our sages encountered in their journeys through the wild paths of spirituality. I hereby declare that it is absolutely possible to be a good Jew and have questions and doubts about God. In fact, in Reform Judaism, as I mentioned time and again in the past, people and acts of kindness are always before faith and tradition. In thinking about God, it is a hard process to incorporate this concept into our lives. Therefore, you will also hear me say often that though most of us don't encounter God, for sure, we all encounter moments of godliness. If we allow it, we can notice the design perfection of the human body in all what we consider as flaws. Another good example is that love is so powerful feeling that cannot be proven, but it may be a gift to and from God. Conscience, for example, that little voice inside of us, or as some refer to as intuition, may also be one of God's gifts, but it can never be measured or proven. In other words, our Jewish religion is not about who God is, but about what God helps us to do in this lifetime. So we are Yisrael. We are the people who struggle with God. We are the people who don't seek one and only answer. We are Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. As we come to the conclusion of our service, I'd like to extend my gratitude to Stu for doing all our internet and Zoom and technology. And thank you to all our participants in the Torah service. And thank you to those who fed us this evening with beautiful oneg that is waiting for us. And let's continue with Aleinu. If you're able, please rise. We are on page 586.
We are at the top of page 586.
Aleinu l'shameach l'adon hakol, latet gdula Yosef Reshit, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinat uzo בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו, אלוהינו, ואנחנו קוראים, ובשלח אבינו מודים, לפניהם מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. be seated. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Upon hearing the name of your loved one, if you choose to do so, I invite you to rise, and then we will all rise to recite together the ancient words of Kaddish Yatom. This week, we think of Yeda Belitsky, Randy Bress, Melvin Hyde, Lucille Josephs Cohen, Leon Lee Green, Catherine Hamburger, Joseph Laskowski, Toby Needle, Adolf Nord, Joseph Olliner, Nathan Sachs, and Marcia Shiner. Let us all now rise and turn to page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קרי ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, and the people in our world, to which we all say together, amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. I'm wondering if we have any announcements to make this evening. We do have a few board members here. Do we have any announcements? Please.
Okay, great. So Kahila Magnet is this Sunday. And we also have the Hanukkah gift shop going on this Sunday as well. And that is not, I guess, is that, Pat, during religious school hours? And after, okay. And then we also have the Sisterhood Hanukkah party that starts at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Very good. Okay. And then a security committee meeting. Boy, you are very busy, Pat. All right. And then the lunch and learn is this Tuesday at 12 to 1:30. Does that take place here? Or do you go somewhere? Lunch and learn?
BYOL.
Okay.
Has been Zoom in the past, but I don't know what's happening.
Is that an adult ed
It's an adult
activity?
event. I'm wondering though whether, if Denise is on Zoom, you could ask her. I don't see her.
Okay.
Or Ross Marble, is she on? And no responses. Okay, I'm just not sure it's real.
Stay tuned.
Okay, stay tuned. All right. Well, the Gila Magnet is closed this Wednesday, and there's a choir rehearsal at Mike's house this Thursday. And then, oh my goodness, it's Seth's bar mitzvah this weekend. Seth
Next
becomes
weekend? Yeah, next
Oh, it's
weekend.
next weekend. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
don't scare him.
Yes, sorry about that. So Seth becomes a bar mitzvah next weekend. Yep. So, Mr. President, do you have any more announcements?
You
No.
did a wonderful job. Thank you.
And Pat, do you have anything? All right, anyone else? All right, great. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, Melissa, thank you. All right, let's end our service with Gesher Tsar Me'od Kol Haolam Kulo.
If you'd like to
Good
follow
question,
along,
what page it's on.
643,
623?
643.
643, thank you. You actually have that memorized?
I looked it up while you were talking. Kol haolam kulo, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od, kol haolam kulo, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד קהל. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד עליו. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד עליו. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד עליו. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר העיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. העיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, העיקר, לא לפחד כלל.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's continue in the social hall for Kiddush and Amotzi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody on Zoom. Enjoy your night, enjoy your Shabbat. Thanks for all your help, Jess.